Well, a lot of you have probably heard over and over and over Donald Trump call Ted Cruz Lying Ted. And I may not go that far, but to me, Ted Cruz definitely likes to deceive people. I've been following politics for a long time, and I've trained myself, to hear these guys parsing the words. And I know what they're saying when they parse their words. And I want to give you a couple of examples of what Ted Cruz does and says to deceive you. For one, instead of calling illegals, he will say he wants them to come out of the shadow. Let me show you an example, okay?
Addressing the situation for the 11 million who are currently in the shadows.
Okay, that's how you speak in Washington, D.C. The 11 million people who are currently in the shadows. Well, in 1995, I was told that figure was 20 million people. There are 11 million illegals in this country who are simply OTMs, other than Mexican. That number is a lie, and it is very deceiving. But when he testified in front of the Gang of Eight, the legislation, he submitted an amendment that would allow these people to come out of the shadows, and this is the way he worded it. Watch very carefully.
If this amendment is adopted to the current bill, the effect would be that those 11 million under this current bill would still be eligible for RPI status.
Well, what the heck is RPI status? Registered Provisional Immigrant. That means you have 1 year to sign a piece of paper to show them, yes, I'm here illegally. Then you automatically get to stay for 6 years. And then you have to sign that piece of paper again. And after 10 years, you become a legal resident. That is amnesty. He is testifying in favor of amnesty, but he won't use the word illegal. He'll say, oh, come out of the shadow. And he'll use RPI rather than registered provisional immigrant, as if people are going to know what that is. Then, yesterday, in Indiana, he had another moment that just sent me over the top, where, he famously walked across the street to speak to those Donald Trump supporters who were protesting him, and he tried to make himself come across as a populist candidate. Watch what he says to this guy in this particular exchange.
Donald Trump is the only Okay, so you like rich people who buy politicians?
Where's your Goldman Sachs jacket at? We know your wife works there.
Actually, I was supported by, and am supported by 1.3 million contributors all over the country. Our average contribution is $60.
Okay, the audio wasn't that good there, but he said he was supported by 1.3 million with an average contribution of $60. Okay? This is how these people parse their words. He doesn't talk about the super PAC money that he gets. He has 3 donors that have given over $35 million. One particular super PAC alone is worth over $80 million. The rest are probably a combined $55 million. I got to go back on opensecrets.org. The guy is being bankrolled by rich, powerful political action committees, and on top of that, 3 particular individually wealthy billionaires. So when he walks across the street and he tells these Indiana voters, oh, the average donor is $60, he tries to pretend like he's got this populist movement, when in fact, the opposite is true. He's being bankrolled by big donors. And Donald Trump is self-bankrolling. If Ted Cruz were to put a patch all over his suit, like a NASCAR driver with all his sponsors, he'd be covered in patches. So be very careful. Just listen with both ears with these politicians, because they parse their words, and you got to go back and push pause, go back, rewind, and play, and you see after a while how deceitful they can be. This is why Donald Trump is having a Zeitgeist moment here in 2016, where he has captured the mood of the people.